What's up, you freaking geniuses? So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to determine which intervals a function is increasing, decreasing, or constant, all right? So we're going to go over a handful of examples, starting with this one right here on the left. So as you can see, we have this function here that goes up, then comes down, and then goes up again, right? So you always want to read these graphs from left to right. And also, the easier kind of way I like to think about these is thinking of a roller coaster. Okay, so if you're on a little, let's just draw you right here, right there with your hands up and you're smiling and happy, okay? So here, look, the roller coaster, you can call it a roller coasty if you want. A roller coaster, it's going up, 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 and you get to the very top, right? And then you start coming down, 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 whee, until you get to the very bottom. And then you start going up, 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 and away, all right? So it's pretty clear to see where this function is increasing, right, these spots in red, and where it's decreasing, right, this spot in blue. So in order to describe where a function is increasing, decreasing, or constant, you always use the x-axis to write all of your intervals. All right, so if we wanted to describe this first section that's increasing, we again want to use the x-axis, right? So we're going to draw, we're going to say that the graph starts about there and ends right here, okay? So as you can see, this width right here, this section of the x-axis is where this function is increasing, right? Now, one little detail I want to point out is, as you can see, this part of the function, we have an arrow, right? So it's basically telling us that it doesn't actually start here. It's just going down in this direction forever. Okay, so this dashed line right here, we should actually, it's going to move to the left towards negative infinity forever. Okay, so this graph, this function, where it starts to increase actually starts at negative infinity. Okay, and then it comes all the way here, right, and then it finally stops increasing right here, again, using the x-axis to describe it at -1. Okay, so we're going to put a -1 right there, and then we're going to use a parenthesis. Okay, for all of these problems, you're always going to use parentheses. And as you can see, we're also increasing right here along this portion. So again, using the x-axis, we would say, okay, it looks like this part of the function starts increasing right here at x is equal to 1, and then it increases, right, it's going up and to the right forever, right, towards positive infinity. Okay, so we can see that this portion is increasing from here to over here, right? So this width along the x-axis, again, goes from +1, right? So +1 towards positive infinity, right? Towards positive infinity. Now, as you can see, we have two intervals for where this graph is increasing. So in order to join those, you can either use a union symbol, or you could simply write and, or you could put a comma. It's really up to your teacher what they want to see, but the most common method is using a union symbol. So that's what I'm going to use for these problems going forward. All right. So those are the two intervals where this function is increasing. Now, again, let's talk about where it's decreasing. So we said that it's decreasing from this spot up here, right? And then we're going down on the roller coaster, whee, to this spot right here. Okay. So if we draw some vertical lines from there to there, right? Because we want to use the x-axis to describe this distance, this width right here. So as you can see, it goes from -1 to +1. So this function is decreasing from, again, from -1 to +1. Okay, now do we have any constant intervals? And in this case, no. We don't have any, because constant intervals are just flat horizontal pieces. So as you can see, we don't have any flat horizontal pieces on any part of this function. All right, so now let's go to the next one. So for this problem, you can see that this part right here, we're increasing, right? Then this part right here is flat, just flat horizontal piece. So that's constant. And then for this last section, we're decreasing. okay? So again, we want to use the x-axis to describe those three intervals. So again, as you can see, we have an arrow right there. So really, this interval starts all the way back at negative infinity, okay? So this section right here, this red section, is increasing from negative infinity, and then it stops right here. So what is this spot? Well, this spot, as you can see, it's the same spot where the y-axis is, but we want to use the x-axis to describe it, right? So this spot is x is equal to 0. So it's increasing from negative infinity to 0, okay? And then we can see we have this constant piece from 0 all the way to 2, okay? So again, to describe this width right here, it goes from 0 to 2, right? So the constant interval here is from 0 to 2. And then it's decreasing from this spot right here at 2, and then it's basically going to the right forever towards positive infinity, right? So it goes from positive 2 to positive infinity. All right, now we have this next function, which is a cubic function, right? So this is y is equal to x cubed. Or more specifically, right, if we're talking about functions, this is f of x is equal to x cubed, all right? So where is this increasing, decreasing, and constant? Well, we're reading from left to right, right? So as you can see, if we're on our little roller coaster again, right, we're going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And then here, we're going up little by little, but we're still going up, 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 up. And then here, we're going up a lot more, okay? Towards infinity, okay? And sorry, I forgot to give you a head. And this time you're shocked because you're realizing that you're never gonna come down, right? You're just gonna go up forever. So as you can see, this function is always increasing. It's always gonna be increasing. So it's increasing from negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, so this function is never decreasing and doesn't have a constant interval either. All right, let's do some slightly harder problems. So let's start with this one on the left. So again, we're always reading these from left to right. So here you can see that this first function, right, if we get ourselves on our little roller coaster, we're finally coming back down from heaven. And look, whee, we're going down, 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 and then we stop right there, okay? So here we're coming down, we're decreasing, right? So where are we decreasing from? Well, from way back here, right? From way back here, where negative infinity is. So we're decreasing, we're coming in from negative infinity, and then we're coming to right here, right? We're stopping right here at -1, all right? So we're decreasing right there. And then here we have a gap, right? There's no function here. So don't think that this is a constant interval because it's not, right? Because there's nothing here. So for this one, we're gonna say none again. And then for this last portion, we're gonna say that we're increasing, right? We're back on our roller coaster. Whee! We're increasing from +1 all the way in that direction, right? Towards positive infinity. So from 1 to infinity. All right, now one clarification I wanna make is if we did have a connection right here between these two functions, then yes, this would definitely be a constant interval right here, and we could say it goes from -1 to +1, right? So like that. All right, now I'm gonna clean this up just so it doesn't get too cluttered here. All right, now with this function over here, you can see we have this asymptote, right? So remember, these graphs, they get really close to the asymptote, but they never actually touch it, right? And they definitely don't cross over it. So let's see, first of all, where we have some increasing spots. So here again, if we put ourselves on our roller coaster, you can see we're increasing right here, and then we're decreasing from there to there, right? And then we'll jump up here, and then we can see we're coming down on our roller coaster right there, right? And then we're increasing again. Okay, so first of all, let's write the interval for this guy right here. So we're increasing right, from here to here. So what is this width right here? Well, here, this line, remember this arrow tells us we're actually back here at negative infinity. So this interval starts at negative infinity, and then it comes all the way and it hits, I should have drawn that a little cleaner. I should have moved it over a little bit, right, because that's where it really runs through, at negative 2. Okay, it goes through negative 2. And then our other interval is going to be this one right here, right? So from here to right here. So here, the y-axis, remember that's where x is equal to 0. And then it goes all the way in this direction towards positive infinity, right? Because we have our arrow up there. So then this one goes from 0 to positive infinity. And then we'll put a union symbol right there. Now, let's talk about where it's decreasing. So this first section right here is decreasing right here, right at negative 2. So it's decreasing from negative 2. And then it's going to get really close to this asymptote right here, right? So this is the section right here where it's decreasing. And this asymptote is at negative 1, right? This is negative 1 right here. So it goes to negative 1. And then we'll put our union symbol, and then our other interval where it's decreasing is this one right here. So again, it starts at negative 1. So it's this width right here, right? From negative 1 to 0. Okay, so this one's decreasing from negative 1 to 0. And then we don't have any constant intervals, so we'll say none. Boom. So if you found the video helpful, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below.